Welcome, Governor Livingston. You are in the zone. Brought to you by GLHS TV and GL Sports Zone. We're your hosts. Starting over here.
John.
Charlie.
Ryan.
Jonathan.
Oh my God.
Well, normally you introduce. You're like my host. I'm your host, Ryan.
But I'm not the first.
It's all messed up right now.
It's because of him. I'm just all
Johnny
saying.
wanted to be
Right to left.
special today.
Yeah, that's right.
Just handle saying
right?
your name.
This is your right hand. So L. See, that makes an L. There you go. All right.
Yeah, I know that one.
Okay, I was just checking in. But yeah, today, our second to last episode. Maybe, hopefully not of all time. You know, we got some future stuff to talk about. We'll have a guest on later today, special guest. We're not gonna say it. We're not gonna say yeah. We'll keep the people waiting. But yeah, what do we want to start with? John, you were rolling with the ideas.
I really was. I mean, we should start in the fall and we're going to do like the highlights for the year. I feel like we should start in the fall or we should work backwards. What do you want to do?
Let's go
start
fall.
Start with the fall?
Yeah.
So I think the highlight of the fall was volleyball is for sure. Even football had a solid year too.
Oh yeah. Oh
No,
yeah.
FNL.
FNL. We haven't won FNL in a while. I think beyond that, just like huge improvements, new coaching staff, a lot new players came in, and they held their own in a different was division
Conference.
Yeah.
I think it was. They got bumped down, held their own. I think
better.
the future is bright. Got guys like Jack Dally. Who else?
Ryan Honey.
Gretzko?
D'Amato.
The tomato. The absolute whatever.
Fajardo.
Fajardo, yeah.
Chait.
Schaefer. You can't forget about Schaefer.
Schaefer. How could I forget?
Yeah. Fall. I think it's gonna be a bright future. Only
How
on the
young was their O-line last year?
Pretty young.
Well, they're losing Pat, who played pretty good.
Rocco.
Oh, let's
Rocco.
speak about some college guys.
Let's get there after.
Well, since we're on
the
football,
football
we'll
commits.
talk
Yeah,
about
you're right.
Pat and then Liam. Almost forgot about Liam. He's
Tulane guy, huh?
probably one of the biggest,
Toledo.
Toledo. Same thing.
one of the biggest commits. And you know, Joey got Allie Post last year. That Syracuse runner a couple of years ago.
Victoria.
That was
Victoria.
Penn State.
No. There's
No,
another
Danny Soretti.
Aguilera, right?
Soretti, yeah.
What was his first
Yeah,
name?
Aguilar. I don't know. Andrew.
Yeah.
Then you had
Syracuse.
Soretti, Compton, and Mr. Bounce Breakfast, Stephen Reed. And then,
Now,
yeah.
breakfast, my booty.
So volleyball was sectional champions. Lost in the. Did they make it to the county finals
I
too?
mean, state
County.
State finals, they
state
lost.
Finals and county finals. I
They
think.
lost to
Was they
Westfield.
won counties?
No,
No,
they
we
lost to
didn't.
Westfield.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a big year for
Big
volleyball.
year.
And I
Mr.
also-
Hess.
You can go.
No, I was just saying.
Oh, just Mr. Hess.
Big year for Mr. Hess.
Definitely stepping up as a head coach for his first year. Right? It was his first
Yeah,
year?
first year.
First year.
I think what volleyball did was brought GL Sports Zone to life.
Yeah.
That was our biggest
Yeah.
crowds to a sport that normally does not get a great turnout. I don't know why. It's absolutely
Yeah,
electric.
it was pretty fun.
We got a huge turnout, had themes, and people were traveling 30 minutes to go see these games because
Yeah.
the
And the
crowd
Congo line. We can't forget about the
absolutely
Congo line.
electric.
We had the red gym
Sellies.
packed
The
every game. I mean, you couldn't find us. People were showing up 30 minutes early to try and find a seat in the red gym.
Senior night, Chuck and I were like sitting on I was about to sit on the floor because we were just trying to find seats because we
Yep.
rolled up at like the time that the ceremony started. It was great. Field hockey did some things, made some plays.
Decent year.
Yeah, they
Comeback
scored some
year, you
goals.
know. They didn't
They
have
lost a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So
They're
it's a
lo-
building year.
They're
Young.
about building year. Yeah.
It's all
How about a little hint for our interviewer? Soccer did pretty well this year. Lost in the county final to a tough Elizabeth team.
Yes, soccer was just
I had that also.
did
win against
awesome
Scotch
regular
Plains.
season. And then
Division champs.
wait, who did they lose against?
And what, the
Elizabeth.
county finals?
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
No, who did they lose in states?
Monmouth.
Monmouth.
Mascot.
It was. I thought it was
No, we
Manasquan.
were
I think it was.
Manasquan.
No, but I think they might have also been Monmouth. It was Monmouth.
Or
Okay.
Mascot. I think
No,
it's
It's that
Mascot.
two
That was-
seed.
It was
that was-
Mascot, right?
No, it was Monmouth.
Even though we
so I
lost
got it
that
right the
game,
first time.
that was a very fun game.
And there was a
down to
big turnout for
PKs.
that game too.
What the
Monmouth game.
and the ALJ game? There was a lot of kids
Yep.
for soccer, which was a great season. Lots of talent on that team. I'm excited to see how they take that next step forward, losing a lot of guys.
Yep.
Yeah. College. Isabella Garay, Katie Brooks, both.
Victoria Crisso.
Yep.
FDU.
So
FDU.
it's FDU.
Adelphi.
Adelphi and-
and where's Bella going?
Come back to that.
We'll figure it out.
Chuck, we'll get our reporter on that one.
We'll get our social media team on that. Go to the Geo Commits page. I know it's up there.
John, you got anything to talk about in this brief?
What is it?
little
Girls,
downtime.
girls tennis did well. They were competitive.
Yeah, I think the fall was really the turning point for Sports Zone.
It really was.
Graduated like every year. There's new classes that have to come out and fill up the stands, and that was like people were seeing like, oh, GL Sports can win. Like we're competitive, and people just came out and started supporting all the games.
Yeah, I know we had Dan last year, but I think us being a majority senior club
totally
this
good.
year, a
Yeah.
lot of kids followed us since
Big
we were at
returning
the
year.
top.
Next year's gonna be a big
For what?
rebuilding year for Sports Zone.
Hopefully, it's just reload and go right
We
back
hope
at
so.
it.
Oh, we've said that comment before. Let's hold that one back.
I
Should we all-
think, I think
Should we jump into winter?
yeah. Winter sports.
Any other fall sports? Oh, big
Cross
milestones.
country,
Katie Brooks and Bella both.
digs and assists.
Digs
Yeah.
and this and that, all that good stuff.
We
All that
also
great stuff.
did Sean Jacqua do well in cross country.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
very well.
He won Athlete of the Week.
He's a
Yeah.
great
Multiple
runner.
times.
Can he also ball?
Yes.
He's on the bowling. We have a bowling team.
Ball.
Oh,
Like ball what?
Like
Shambles.
basketball, I think he
Wow.
was pretty good for. Was he a freshman?
Sophomore.
I don't know.
Young kid. Now let's move on to winter. I think winter was the interesting season. You know,
I think no.
the teams that we expected to do a lot better maybe didn't do as well, and the teams we expected to not do was great.
Yeah.
Killed it.
What are you
That's
talking
fair.
about?
No one really expected. No one said, "Oh, hockey's gonna win a state championship."
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm actually talking about girls basketball.
I was talking
Considering we
I was
all
thinking
said
about
they were
wrestling
gonna.
too.
I was thinking about wrestling.
We all listen. Boys basketball was like here, hockey here, and we were like, wrestling's always going to be pretty good. And then we thought girls basketball was
Yeah.
in a full rebuild.
Yeah.
Turns out, no offense, boys basketball was like here, girls basketball, and then like wrestling and hockey. It was great. It was a lot of winning.
It was a lot of
being
fun.
done. Boys basketball still did pretty good.
8 in 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, John averaged 11 points from what I heard last night. I thought it was a little more. Or was that your whole career average?
It was probably just last year. I didn't score that many points.
You had a couple of 20-point games in there. Sadly, got hurt, but
Yeah.
ALJ game, huge turnout. That was the peak of commentating as well. And we had some football games in there that were
Yeah, that was fun.
that was great. We got to find the people to hopefully be the heirs to the throne there
Yeah.
as well.
I mean, I think the best commentating games that I listened to at least was the girls basketball
Girls
games.
basketball. You guys
That
always
was-
had.
I mean, we had Birdman flying around, shooting threes, Caroline running
She was like
around.
Carmelo Anthony.
She really was.
quarter three.
no, Michael
specialist.
Porter Jr. Have you guys been watching the Nuggets recently? Every time he touches the ball,
It's a shot.
he turns, he looks at the basket, and it's gone. It's out of his hands.
Yeah.
It might not even hit the rim. But
But or it's just
Backboard,
yeah, you never know.
shot clock.
the stands.
The whole winter season, what was your favorite game that you guys went to?
Caldwell wrestling.
Caldwell
Yeah.
Wrestling?
That was fun.
Rutgers was also fun.
I say Raritan.
I didn't.
wrestling.
I didn't enjoy Rutgers. I felt like I was a mile.
I
above
hated that.
this.
I
didn't
hated
like
that so
I did
much.
not like
I appreciate how we
Rutgers.
were the only fans there, though.
Yeah, I was
I
good.
felt
We were
like-
still a mile.
Yeah,
above
but the
them.
thing is, when you think it, looking back, we were like the only school that was close to
Yeah.
Rutgers.
Yeah.
Like every other school was at least like an hour and a half away.
You guys
So?
did that. Volleyball is one of my favorite games in the winter. I don't know which game, but I feel like
Volleyball wasn't in the.
Oh, I'm way off right now. My bad, fellas. You're right.
It's all right.
Favorite winter game? What? Maybe going back to the Rock.
Yeah.
That was a long
It's either
game.
Raritan Wrestling or The Rock. But The Rock was just driving me nuts. Like somebody just like put in the puck in the net.
Yeah, I was.
But it was still electric that whole
Yeah.
day. I mean,
Oh yeah, it was a great
I think
day.
it-
what do
like,
we
even
wake up?
before the
8?
game,
we
like,
woke up like 8:30.
Tailgating on the roof, like when the team came, and we were.
And then
screaming
everybody's
for them.
chanting, "Let's go GL!" as they walked in. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And easily the game that made me sweat the most. Those quadruple.
The AC was churning though in the Rock.
It wasn't hot.
It was
I think
not
it was
hot
a
at
figure
all.
Well, yeah,
speech,
it's an ice rink. So
Yeah, but they have AC in there. It felt real nice.
I'd hope so.
If it was hot in there though,
It wouldn't be very good.
ice melts.
Yeah.
But yeah, winter sports was easily one of the most winningest seasons we've had.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We're wrestling.
Do we have any 100-goal scorers? Kramer, obviously.
Kramer-
Game 100 points. I don't know if he got 100
He got
goals.
100 goals for sure.
Dante was close to a
No.
big milestone, right?
Was he?
I felt like he was. If he
What
didn't
about
get
100
hurt, he
wins?
would have. I think.
Oh,
If Dante didn't get hurt, he would have.
Ryan Bennett's committed to FDU
Yes.
Madison.
Yep.
Bennett.
And
FDU.
John might walk on for Mr. Cordia. You never know.
Never
Yeah.
see.
There was
Who knows?
rumors.
And Miss Cordy football.
Yeah. Might have a golf there.
3-sport
I
athlete.
saw a clip of him driving.
Yeah, that was like.
I feel like there's
What
more.
was that form? That was,
That was a
like
baseball.
That
shot.
was a tank, dude.
Dude, that was like. You ever seen like the guys who just try to like hit it like 350 yards? Like,
Because that's what he was trying to do.
like you weren't trying to like actually have like a good.
I'm on the driving range, dude. I'm trying to hit nukes.
Okay.
What do you got, Schmidt?
We do
Still
have
another bench
Matt
inside.
Wallen playing club hockey at Penn State, which is still very
Oh,
Well,
competitive.
he's got to make
and,
the team, right?
He did make it.
Kramer,
You
right?
did?
Is Kramer playing at Delaware?
Someone, Liam told me. Once.
Probably. I mean, club hockey is very competitive.
Yep.
It's
Oh,
very-
yeah.
It's because hockey's the hardest sport to get recruited, and so a lot of kids end up playing.
Yeah. Definitely. And Jonathan Schmidt took a lot of great charges. That was something he did very
A lot
well.
of big moments.
Yeah.
High five.
A lot of glue left on
The
the,
glue
floor.
guy.
You know, you got one 3-pointer you had. I went nuts.
With
We
the
were-
tongue out.
I remember the commentating. I went back to that point in the commentating, and Chuck was just like amazed that I actually made a shot. He's like going nuts.
Boys basketball, though, I think maybe some things might get shaken up in the future. Who knows? Definitely.
I mean, whole new lineup basically
Yeah.
besides Pat.
But yeah,
A lot to come.
A lot of new starters. That'll be interesting.
Yep.
Holongos.
hopefully new offense.
Maybe.
That's all I'm saying. A couple more plays.
On to the spring.
The spring.
Wait, let's slow down. I feel like we're missing something here.
Fencing.
How'd they do?
Waverly.
Oh,
did
swimming. They won a championship.
And a boy. What is
There you
that?
go. Clap it up. Clap it up. Chuck clutched it up.
They won a championship.
Yeah, clap it up for swimming.
They won like a group sectional.
Yeah, good for them. Back
Girls
up
and boys.
on the spring.
And fencing won
Girl-
states, didn't they?
No, it didn't.
No.
Oh.
Girls and boys had like some. I mean, they're freaking insane, dude. I remember like girls won that
Yeah.
thing. Like
Well-
Mr. Kloss talked. They won like 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Well,
Guys
didn't
made
Kate
it-
Curran get some crazy award for the state last
She's going
year?
like Navy or West Point, some
West-
crazy school.
Yeah,
I
but she
couldn't-
got some like state recognized
Yeah.
award last
Maybe
night.
she had like a
Hey,
record.
John got an award
Yeah,
last
Johnny
night
got an award.
Thanks,
for
fellas.
like best male athlete in GL history. What was it?
best
Sportsmanship.
Oh.
sportsmanship award. That'll play.
I don't know. I feel
You have to get some envelopes to get that one.
shake some hands. But back to spring sports. I think
Can I just interrupt you?
So we
I
talk
feel like
about swimming.
we did.
we did.
Glanced
Every
over
year.
that one.
I feel like spring, like fall, winter, all the fans are like they're anxious to go to the game. Spring comes, everyone just we're all tired out. No one
Well,
goes to
I
any
don't
of
know
the
if
games.
it's
I think a lot of people play spring sports.
A lot of people play spring sports, and also in the spring you can do a lot more outside. Kids
Yeah, 'cause-
start getting jobs too.
Like lacrosse had an insane year. What was max attendance? Like 25.
Ouch.
I'm
Well, the
not.
senior night got
In
rained.
real baseball, probably max attendance besides the county championship game. Like,
That was a sick
Senior
game.
night, we had a decent out.
yeah, I'm just
But it got rained.
just think besides our county championship,
as-
right? Nice. You came like
You
when
mean,
we
like,
made it. Why
students
weren't you there when
there?
we were trying
Student
to make
sections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean,
parents are
yeah,
gonna
some
come.
games the other team student section was bigger, but yeah.
But listen, doesn't mean every team pretty much succeeded. You know, maybe a couple bumps in the road for girls lacrosse, but
Yeah.
a building
Big
year for
bumps.
them.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
Hills.
young.
I
They have
think
2 seniors. That's
whenever-
even less than baseball. So
Sinkholes.
baseball and
Alright,
softball both made it to the county championship. A loss.
Oh yeah,
but
two.
Whenever
awesome
you're making
seasons.
it there, it's a good feat.
especially in Union County, being a Group 2 school, you're playing a lot of 3s and 4s.
Good on you both.
Yeah. John hit 100 strikeouts. What was it?
100 strikeouts.
Aiden
Elise-
Lindy, 100 goals, almost 200 points. Brett, 100 points.
Megan Kim, 100 points.
100
Elise-
goals.
Oh, 100 goals.
100 hits for
She's
Elise.
100 points.
600 saves for the big cheeser.
Boy.
Big cheese.
Yeah.
Where did that one come from?
I've got like 500 nicknames for Chuck. You don't even know.
I
That's
only
what I
got
was.
one for him. Ugly.
There you go. I know. But for spring sports, spring sports coach of the year, to a 3-1 vote.
Who's
We
the
went-
one?
No, me.
Oh, it was you?
Yeah.
Well, we voted for Miss Lanigan, softball. Let's clap it up.
We gotta like write on a piece of paper and like
Yeah, hand it to her.
her.
Make a picture.
Sports Zone
In the zone,
podcast.
coach of the year.
Who's our
We got like
Winter
loose
and
piece of
fall.
paper.
I think it was Ortega,
Ortega
and Hess.
And Hess?
Yep.
Like that.
What did Hess coach?
Volleyball.
Volleyball.
All right, let's get
And then
let's get the
runner-ups
big
for.
man on.
Can we talk about some runner-ups before? Mabu is the runner-up for spring. I think that's pretty apparent.
Fair.
Lacrosse most
Yeah.
tied for most wins ever. won the Clank. I'd say winner runner-up, Mr. Kloss. Come on.
He's always
Yeah.
gonna be up there.
And then, or Mr. Coach Eckert. And then fall runner-up,
Miss
football.
Coach Eckert.
No,
Each.
Miss.
Honestly, when you think about it,
Meach,
Eckert,
yeah.
I know Ortega did win a lot, but Eckert, it's like a Brian Dable type coach.
Oh,
of the year
yeah.
for Eckert.
All right,
But-
let's,
Yeah,
speed this up.
I think. But some great stuff in the whole year of Sports Zone. And now we're
On to-
pleased.
On to another coach.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Something happened. I don't know what it was. Maybe John's brain signal was thrown off the TV.
It is pretty
production
whack.
team. But
John stared at the lights and they all exploded.
yeah, we had to get the cleanup crew and everything. But now we're gonna introduce a special guest, the advisor for GL Sports Zone. Help us do everything we can do,
The Rock.
Yeah.
The glue.
Mr. Fontana.
Let's
Clap it up. How's it going, Mr. Fontana?
How are you guys?
Good.
Fine.
No complaints.
Awesome.
So, first things first, for the people, what do you have to divulge about the future of Sports Zone, and what you hope it can continue to bring for, next year and the years to come?
Yeah, I think we've gotten off to a good start in our first 2 years. I think we've continued to grow. We're trying to get more and more people involved in supporting our athletics programs around here, especially from like a fan point of view. I think that really took off with how successful some of these sports programs were throughout the entire year. As the future, we're unfortunately losing you guys, kind of like the big backbone of what we've been doing the past 2 years. So we definitely have some roles and positions that we're looking to fill in the next week or so. But as everyone's welcome to join, everyone's welcome to come be a part of what we're trying to do and be supportive of our athletic programs.
So
Definitely.
you talked about the roles and positions. How would the fans, the students, best get into a possible role for GL Sports Zone?
Well, we've shared the sign-up forms and nomination forms out on our Google Classroom. I think we're going to be sharing one to take over the podcast here that we'll be sending out in the next week or so, trying to look and see who'd be interested and then who might best fit the roles. As we have the podcast that will be available and commentating our games, especially in the winter.
So about,
Who's willing to be a LaGuardia? That's all I'm saying. Who's willing to be
like you said, like about 4 to 6 people for the podcast.
maybe a couple,
Some alternatives, some
Maybe.
some core guys.
and then the same probably, maybe a couple less for commentating. Just see who works. I think that's a big part of it. We all have known each other for some time. We got
Sadly, yeah.
It was
We-
easy to gel.
we mesh well, and all of our skill sets, whatever they may be, that works
Very
well.
dynamic.
That's one way to put it. But yeah, and I think that it's in good hands, and anyone, and beyond just joining the club, just coming to games, you're being a part of GL Sports Zone. You're contributing. But yeah,
So I would say like you're the advisor, but you're also a coach here. How do you see like when you're coaching? How does a big fan support kind of impact your players and how the players play?
I mean, I think it's huge. I mean, even at soccer, you guys were talking about getting like 20, 25. I think that was pretty much like where we maxed out most days, unless it was like a senior night or night game. I think it makes a difference. Just hearing that supportive voice, the loud cheers throughout the game. And then you get into the bigger events. I mean, you look at what happened with volleyball. I think the fans and the support that they got really pushed them and kept them playing to their highest level. And you see it with the hockey team the last 2 years and filling up 3 sections at the Prudential Center with students. I mean, by far the most in the last 2 years, and it's been phenomenal. I mean, that's a 3-4 overtime game. Those guys are dog tired, and I think they wanted it more than anything to show what they could do
Couldn't
to
agree
the
more.
friends.
I mean, talk about the high level that those guys are playing at. You guys play at a very high level this year, your soccer team. What can the fans expect for the next upcoming years? I should say?
soccer.
You're back there,
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, we've in my 2 years we've continued to get a little bit better each year, which we're hoping to continue to do. We certainly lost a number of really good key contributors to this past season, but we're returning a lot of key contributors as well, and we have a lot of young kids that had successful seasons with the freshmen in JV. We're bringing in a number of really good freshmen as well. So we're just going to look to continue to grow and be the best team that we can be. We're going to be jumping up in conference next year because we just won, so we're going to be playing with all the Group 4s, Westfields, Elizabeths, Scotch Plains, all teams ranked in the top 20. So we're really going to get a good test.
Yeah, I think that's good though. I mean, that
Even
gets
for
you ready.
down the line.
Even if you guys don't win the division, it gets you ready for states and even counties because you're facing the same teams 2 times. So I think that's big time.
Yeah, I think it'll certainly help. You know, we've unfortunately exited the state playoffs a little earlier than we wished, both seasons in PK shootouts. So hopefully we can get over that hump as well, and
Yeah.
hopefully our season gets us ready for that.
I also think just moving up a conference is just like a compliment to the hard work, you know. Lacrosse, moving up a division, moving up to the Kimber, playing teams like Cranford regularly, you know, soccer. Football, if they win this year, I think they'll move up. And it's just a compliment to, you know, the hard work of the players, and I think it's great. And I think the soccer team's going to do well. Last year you lost a lot of great players, and I don't think it's an adjustment you won't be able to make. I think, you know, things will move as usual.
It's a reload, not a rebuild, as
Yep.
Jonathan likes to say.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking, like, when you look at it, like, we're, like, competitive in basically almost every sport in Group 2. Like, we have to be, like, one of the top Group 2 schools in the state
Should be.
across the board.
I don't know the numbers on that, but I
But
trust
just think
his,
about it.
I trust his word
We're
for it.
always, like, a top 4 seed in our section. And besides, like, the shore teams, like, they're just
You know, short teams are
they're
still.
just different.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense how good they are.
Yeah, because they're from like these crazy towns, but they all just moolah, just, you know, move to these nice little homes at the beach, and they just pay to go to those schools, or they have a house down there and they all just
Can
say
you
they
do
live
that?
there. Yeah,
If you have a beach house, you can, like,
you could say you live there.
Could have after Upson.
You never know.
interesting.
What else, Chuck? I know you got a question. You got something.
What is your vision for the club in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years.
10 years?
Well,
Where do you-
5-year plan.
where do you-
For you.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I mean, I think as we kind of talked about, I think the biggest thing is getting solid leadership each couple years, because, you know, I think it's kind of going to be like 2-year cycles as you get people that are involved early on and then take on bigger roles and then eventually graduate. So it's not like I can sign anybody to any long-term deals here. So 5 years is, you know, way out
we'd
there
be
when you
getting a
really think
super
about
max.
it, you know. So, you know, it's kind of just taking what was successful each of the previous years and hoping that whoever takes over each of the years in the future can kind of continue to maintain and even grow that a little bit.
Are you thinking of having like a senior, like recycling that every year for leadership positions? Or are you thinking of having a junior for like almost like a 2-year term?
I mean, it really depends on the candidates when it really comes down to it. You know, I think we want definitely some upperclassmen in the leadership roles, because I
Yeah.
think they'll do the best job.
Keeps it fresh.
You know, we've kind of had small conversations, maybe having like a senior or 2 in high-ranking positions with juniors that are in big roles where they kind of are kind of grooming themselves to be ready to take over in the future.
Yeah.
That's what happened with John. John was kind of like guaranteed to be the heir to the Dan Bass
I was like
throne.
the side, like the assistant coach, not the
Yeah.
head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just got to keep moving it on.
Worked out well. But
So who's your assistant coach now?
ooh,
Fajardo?
Hardo. Is that kid still? I haven't seen him at a meeting since.
Roland? I've been to one meeting this year. So.
Yeah, that's true.
like the Allen. I'm like
We-
Allen Iverson. We don't talk about practice.
Why would we go?
Yeah.
You knew your roles, right?
Yeah, we
We know our roles. We
we-
know where we stand.
we talk ball.
Just shows
I mean, I felt our attendance had good.
You
The
guys
people
have
that
been
did show were consistently there and interested
and a lot of
learning
young kids.
and learning and trying to do like their
Positive
best to
environment.
pick up on the things that we were trying to
And I
move
think not
forward
even
with.
for like the sports zone account. I think it shows in all of the GL sport accounts for the year. The edits were getting much better. People were consistently posting all year for trainings, for
People were stealing our
scrimmages.
edits, though. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say who, but there were a
people
couple.
were stealing our edits, but also some of the kids who are in the clubs use their knowledge from the club to make
Yeah.
their own
Yeah.
teams edits,
Yeah.
which was
I
cool.
think it's good. It's growing not only our brand, but like each sport. Like people were getting different audiences to come out and see the games because people are actually putting posts out there.
I mean, if you think about it, 2 years ago, how many Instagram accounts for our programs were there?
A lot.
Now, basically, every program has their own
5.
Instagram account. You know, I think they're kind of jumping off of like what Sports Zone was kind of building, which is great. It's what we want. You know, everybody should kind of promote what their sport does and their athletes and what they achieve, and should be posting that kind of stuff and try and get people out to their games to support them.
Yeah, I agree. I think like obviously like 3 years ago, like, you know, not every team had it, but a couple had it, and it was just kind of like thrown together photos. It wasn't really like
Yeah.
easy to look at. They wasn't consistent with posting.
I think for me, like even when I was younger, I always see like GL Baseball would always post like pictures and like recaps of the games. I was always looking at those and like looking up to the players.
Yeah, exactly. I think it builds that, like, you know,
Since
the younger generation sees how successful they can be at GL, and then will want to come to GL. And I think as we grab those better athletes, it's going to keep those kids around a little bit more, and, you know, really continue to keep GL athletics at a high level.
Maybe we won't lose everyone to private schools.
Private schools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's
Well, I mean, like,
definitely a problem around the board.
How many did baseball lose to like private schools? A
Eh,
couple. I mean, we lost
Lacrosse loses an insane.
always.
Lacrosse and football lose the most.
I
Probably.
think people go to private schools for different reasons, like if it's a good player in front of them, or just the team's not competing at a high level. But
But I feel like we can, and I don't think they realize that if they like come here, they can like add to it.
yeah,
They just think, oh, they're not good. I gotta go.
Yeah.
But they can like, I feel like from a scout standpoint, if they see a player who looks good on a great team, he'll be like, oh, that's good. But if he sees a kid who's the same skill but on a worse team elevating it, I feel like that looks better.
yeah.
But no, then you have to deal with the competition and stuff. But yeah, I'm excited to see what GL Sports Zone will entail for the next couple of years. And it's definitely sad to be leaving, but you know, this isn't the last podcast. So.
It's like crying.
No.
One more.
Not yet. But
Maybe we'll get some of those announcements for the next one.
That'll be
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
That'd be big time.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Maybe
up
we'll
to
get
you, sir.
We'll get some views on that one.
next Thursday is we got
Final
Ian
podcast.
Rollins, treasurer.
with the Red Bull. But that's
That's my vote for the treasurer.
that's
I've been saying it all year.
wonder why. But that's all for GL in the Zone. You're in the zone. Get out of the zone. Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Thank you.